Got some bad news for you. Expect more delays and canceled flights. That is the warning coming from the Federal Aviation Administration, as you know, the FAA. It will be reducing the traffic at 40 airports by 10% starting Friday if the government shutdown is still in place. There were some negotiations finally taking place today on the shutdown, but so far no deal. Today, a new record is being set for the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. What does that mean? You know all too well. For the first time in history, millions of Americans aren't getting the food stamp benefits they need, and roughly 1.4 million federal workers aren't getting their paychecks, some of whom have to work throughout this anyway. And the economy is losing billions of dollars each day that it remains closed. The president, though, says America is too strong to struggle. Listen.
They don't like it to be reopened because we're setting records. They think I don't think anything's going to hurt. We are so strong now that I'm not sure that anything's going to hurt. But it would be good to open it up, take care of the people with jobs that aren't going to get paid and aren't getting paid.
Now, in a closed-door meeting with Republicans today, Trump said that the party was being, quote, killed politically by the shutdown. He renewed his calls to eliminate the filibuster, meaning that the Senate would only need 51 votes to open the government. Senate Majority Leader John Thune has resisted that, but some Republicans appear to be open to that possibility now.
If you're going to put me personally to the choice between providing food assistance to 42 million needy Americans or defending some arcane rule of the Senate, I'm going to choose people. So I would just warn my Democrat colleagues, if they think they can just do this in perpetuity, we're just never going to open back up the government, we're never going to give people food assistance, we're never going to pay the military. That is not a sustainable position, and you're putting me to a choice between people and Senate rules, and I'm going to choose people.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Anna, this time. Should Senate Republicans go nuclear? No, not literally, but that's what it's called, and go ahead and say, you know what, we're busting the filibuster, and we're going to go for this.
I'm on the record, and I want to be consistent on this. I absolutely loathe the legislative filibuster in the Senate. I think it should be majority rule, and I'm okay with them nuking it.
There you have it.
I mean, I think that somebody has to be an adult in the room. I think that most Americans see that people are hurting. And I think that people, the question that I always get is, whose fault is it? And that's really a political class question. How are people viewing it? Right. Whose fault is it? Is it Democrat or Republican's fault? Well, if you're in a food bank line, I don't really think you care whose fault it is, right? I think you want government to work for you. And I think that also, I heard Tommy Tuberville the other day talk about the individuals who he perceived to be receiving SNAP benefits. I mean, people have this belief in their head that it's this, oversized single mom with multiple kids and a couple baby daddies who doesn't work. And I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, let's actually reframe this discussion and see that all Americans are hurting because of the decisions that are being made in Washington, D.C. Now, because of TSA, it's a bit of a removal between SNAP benefits and food banks and things like that. And now TSA, people who fly first class, concierge key, et cetera, their lines are going to be 4-5 hours long. I mean, I think everybody's going to feel the pain is my point.
What about the TSA agents? I feel terrible that these people are expected to work without pay. I mean, this is going to be now the second paycheck that they're going to miss because of the government.
They've also been getting paid and working with Nancy Mace, but that's a whole other.
The reality is that the Republicans have multiple times proposed single-issue bills in order to, for example, extend at least partially the SNAP benefits and also to extend payment for certain classes of federal workers. And those have been rejected by Democrats as well. So there really is an impasse. Actually, I'm going to take the opposite side, shockingly, of Anna here. I think the Senate filibuster is actually quite important because I think that if you do not have the Senate filibuster, what you end up with is a country that is already penduluming side to side, doing so even further with 51 votes in the Senate, ramming through massive changes to the system of government itself. I mean, and I think that Republicans should be wary, as Democrats should have been wary about the judicial filibuster and were not, and then ended up with Merrick Garland not on the court and several Trump-appointed justices on the court. The very same thing could happen to Republicans if Democrats end up in control of the Senate. Now, I think that the argument that President Trump has used is Democrats will do it anyway when they get the first opportunity, so we should go ahead and do it.
They've never done it.
And I'm not sure that's true. I think if he truly believes that, then what actually should happen, if there are enough senators who agree with the idea of the filibuster being extended, is actually a constitutional amendment to enshrine the filibuster in the Constitution. And then you say, if it doesn't pass within a certain period of time, we're going to nuke it. Because
good luck getting a
I was like, that was...
that might be
well, but seriously, it takes 2/3 of the votes.
No, I hear you. No,
and the filibuster is 60.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if it has wide support, you could do something like that as a piece of leverage to get people to sign in on this. But as far as the government shutdown goes, I mean, right now it is clear that a clean CR is an easy way forward here. Democrats, if they believe that they've already won the political battle because they've shown that Republicans are uncaring about Obamacare benefits or about SNAP benefits, then I don't see why they are continuing this fight. They should just give up the ghost and they should say,
let me speak to that just really quickly. I spoke very early this morning, with the mayor of Oklahoma City, who has joined other mayors to come out and say, our constituents, our residents are really desperate. And he was speaking particularly about SNAP after the president had come out and sort of said that there are too many people on SNAP. Biden let everybody get onto this program, and we need to think about that. Here's what the mayor of Oklahoma City had to say about that.
I think that's entirely reasonable under normal conditions to talk about eligibility. But no, right now we have people who have expectations. They have been told by their federal government that they will receive these SNAP benefits, and this is no time to pull the rug out from under them. These are people who use this as a lifeline, who depend on this. This is playing with people's lives, and it's completely unserious. It's based on politics, and it needs to stop.
Politics, and it needs to stop. And he was really passionate about this because mayors, I feel like they have the hardest job in America because they are very close with their constituents. It's very easy to get in touch and to see them in the community. What do you make of his comments and how he is reading the room and reading the electorate?
Playing politics is a perfect characterization of everything that we've seen for the last 36 days. But let's not forget, the government didn't need to shut down in the first place. This was the very first time in Chuck Schumer's entire career that he voted not to put forward a continuing resolution and to shut down the government. So we've had now, 14 votes in the United States Congress where we've seen a bipartisan effort from a very small handful of Democrats being willing to link arms with their Republican colleagues and create an opportunity to move forward to serve the American people and reach them where they're at. But there is an insistent game being played by congressional Democrats in leadership to play politics. Now, that may have worked for Election Day, but here we are on Wednesday. There are millions of people still not collecting paychecks, millions of people still looking for a path forward, and there is no end in sight.
I just find it ironic that he just complained about people playing politics, and you started that way.
He's a Republican,
No, he's a Republican, and then you came back kind of playing politics.
Well, in what way are you supposed to interpret that otherwise?
Where's Mike Johnson?
What context?
Where is he? I mean, where's his leadership?
Calling for additional votes to reopen the government repeatedly.
Actually, he's not, because what he did was he sent everybody away.
He sure did.
He sent everybody home.
So having 14 votes to reopen the government.
He doesn't want to swear
and the question is, and he doesn't want to swear in the young lady from yes, thank you, from Arizona. But even more importantly, we are seeing now healthcare premium spike. Right. And so, can we have a conversation about that? I mean,
apparently not. Apparently not.
So why shut down the government in the first place is my question.
Well, first of all, this is the one instance in which Democrats in Congress have a little bit of leverage, and they put up this fight on something that I think matters.
So it's playing politics. It's playing politics to advance a left-wing agenda.
Yes, it is playing politics. And Democrats have been historically weak in terms of using whatever leverage they have in a situation in which they don't have majorities in Congress. And I think that for the first time, and this is something that Democratic constituents wanted from Democratic leadership in Congress, they actually put up a fight, and they put up a fight on the right grounds, on something that really does affect Americans.
And I disagree.
And that's healthcare.
I disagree with both of you guys, because if you literally cannot afford to go see a doctor, or you live in a rural part of this country and your hospital or your healthcare provider has completely shut down because of these cuts, that's not playing politics. I want you to know that is literally what people perceive to be a fundamental right in this country. We can argue what's in the Constitution and all those other things, but access to quality care is something that people hold sacrosanct. So no, that's not playing politics. What that's saying is that you deserve, no matter if you're black, white, Democrat, Republican, from the north or south,
Bakari,
to have access to care.
There was a piece that came out in which Democrats, of course, anonymously spoke to reporters and said, we're a little bit worried about suffering the ramifications of this government shutdown. We kind of want to just open the government, but we're worried about our constituents being angry with us because they want us to fight.
True.
So that's politics.
But I'm also saying that it's just a bigger, I just look at it fundamentally as a bigger issue, because the issue that we're talking about is not something like congressional pay.
I agree with you on that, yes.
It's abstract. This is something that people can touch.
Yes, it's super important.
This is the first time in recent memory that I can remember with regard to a government shutdown in which there has been an attempt to blame the party that wants the clean CR for the shutdown.
Yes.
Like usually the shoe's on the other foot. Usually the Republicans are the ones who are responsible for the government shutdown because they're asking for changes. This happened during Biden, it happened during Obama as well. And the idea was that they were pushing for changes because exactly what you're saying, it's their only place of leverage. And the blame typically fell on Republicans.
There's only one big
as soon as the situation is changed, suddenly the blame still falls on
Republicans. There's only one big
Republicans.
difference. That is the big, beautiful bill passed just a few months ago. That is vastly different than what we saw in the last shutdown, because the big, beautiful bill is the reason that these premiums are now spiking, that healthcare costs are going out.
Which enough Democrats agreed to get passed in the first place. And then a few weeks later, now they're playing the political game to advance a left-wing agenda. It just seems to me, if healthcare premiums are already going up and Americans are struggling across the board.
If that's a left-wing agenda, if access to quality care at a reasonable price, a left-wing agenda,
but now at the expense, you're saying, but now at the expense of ordinary Americans.
Put me way over there.
We got much more to talk about. All right, up next.